What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Movie Raised.
Only 1 month after its premiere, Heartstopper was given a green light for 2 more seasons. Charlie Spring and Nick Nelson's story will continue with more romance and, of course, more dramatic storylines. Season 2. The beauty of Heartstopper is that fans can totally relate to the feelings the drama explores. Then there's the chemistry between Nick and Charlie. Because of how addictive the story is, most fans have managed to watch the entire season in a day. The story of series follows its characters during their high school struggles. These struggles are perfectly combined with the reality of first love. If you ask me, I really enjoyed this show simply because of how reliable the storylines are. We don't always have to watch a fairy tale, right? Thankfully, Netflix realized just how good Heartstopper is, so the show received a 2-season renewal. In a statement from May 2022, Alice Oseman, the writer of the series, said that they were overjoyed with the global reaction to the show, and they can't wait to continue the story with these 2 additional seasons. If the next 2 installments are as successful as the first one, we should expect the series to go beyond season 3. Now, there are a lot of fans who aren't familiar with the show that is based on Osman's graphic novels of the same name, with the source material focused on Charlie and Nick as well. The first season followed Charlie as he developed an enormous crush on Nick, his good friend. Nick is a popular rugby player, and because of his bond with Charlie, he starts questioning his gender identity. When creating the show, the most important thing for Osman was to find the perfect cast, and since the cast ensemble is the main reason the show got so popular, we can all agree she did a great job. Osman told Netflix's Tudum in April 2022 that they wanted young actors and they wanted to cast authentically, adding that they needed talented people. When the casting department met Kit Connor and Joe Locke, they knew they found the perfect fit for the roles. The writer also said they knew that Connor and Locke were amazingly talented, but they also needed to know if the dynamic would work, if there was chemistry, and if they could carry the romance of Nick and Charlie. And as Osman says, they smashed it. In the film industry nowadays, it's rare to see teenage actors playing teenage roles, which is what is so good about Heartstopper. I don't know why some film creators stick to the idea of 30-year-old actors playing teens, but thankfully this trend is finally fading away. After all, it's really important to see a teenager going through all the struggles of body change, self-acceptance, and exploration. Another thing this TV show does right is, as previously mentioned, the representation of a queer storyline. In a world filled with queer teen dramas, people need something real, something they could all relate to. Heartstopper pays attention to every little detail, even the way teenagers use social media and their relationships with their parents. We hope the next 2 installments follow the same path. Another thing we loved about season 1 was the fact that Olivia Colman appeared. She plays Nick's mother, and no one knew about her appearance until the episode she appears in was released. Hopefully, we'll see more cameos from such talented actors in the next installment.
Fine, I guess I can invite you, Imogen.
Yeah.
The LGBTQ representation. We previously said that the film industry is filled with queer teen drama nowadays. This isn't a bad thing, not at all, but don't you ever feel like all of these stories are following the same pattern? In an interview with Us Magazine, Osman explained how important it was for the creators of Heartstopper to follow a lighter theme. Is not everything in these kinds of shows has to be so dark. She said most of the content we see nowadays is definitely for adults, adding that a lot of queer stories are still very serious or focused on trauma. I always think that a trope is a trope for a reason. Tropes can feel overused, but when it's featuring marginalized characters, you probably haven't seen that as much as you think you have. Connor believes that the problem with most of these TV shows is a lack of representation of bisexual characters, especially male bisexual characters. At least that's what he told Entertainment Weekly in May 2022. We already said that we hope the next 2 installments do justice to the first season, meaning that we wish to see an original story that will again differ from what the fans are used to seeing when it comes to these types of series. And again, the most important thing is for fans to relate to the story. We've had enough of perfect teens who got what they want whenever they want. Let's see something more realistic. Before we move on to returning cast members, make sure you smash that like button if you haven't done it already.
Like, just so you know, me and Nick are basically together, so I just needed to check.
You and Nick Nelson are together?
Returning cast members. The entire cast we've met in the first season will come back. We'll meet some new characters as well, but the creators are yet to confirm the new additions. Once they do, you'll be the first one to know. More focus on supporting characters. Based on the source material, we might see a bigger focus on the supporting characters we've met in the first installment. The first season also hints at such storylines that might get a deeper exploration in future episodes. Storylines that don't revolve around Nick and Charlie. This doesn't mean we'll lose the focus on the protagonists, but we'll also see more of Tao Xu and Elle Argent, Tara Jones, and Darcy Olsen. This way, we could see character development in all of the characters. After all, these characters are pretty important in the lives of Charlie and Nick. Interestingly enough, Charlie's sister Tori Spring is a protagonist in Oseman's 2014 novel Solitaire. Perhaps her story will get explored more in future episodes. Who knows? We don't know whether Olivia Colman will come back as Nick's mother, Sarah Nelson, but we would love to see her back so that our character story will continue. She now knows Nick is bisexual and in love with Charlie, so yeah, she has to return.
So, does anyone remember the rules of rugby?
Oseman's graphic novel's plot. Those who have read the novels know it's about to come. Those who haven't, let's get into some details, shall we? If the series stays loyal to the source material, we might meet Nick's older brother. If this happens, we'll see a brother who's not really happy with Nick's bisexual identity. Connor talked about this possibility while trying not to spoil anything for future episodes. He said he believes that's a lot more exploration that needs to be done in terms of Nick's family, adding that in the comics, he has an older brother who's homophobic. I think that would be an interesting route to go down, but I think there's loads of material to go and explore, he told NME. Elle and Tao. One of the biggest questions fans were left with in the season finale of season 1 was whether Elle and Tao are finally going to get together. They got really close in the finale, and once you check the source material, you'll see that they'll get together a bit later. Most fans want to see them as a couple, and we're certain that the creators will give them a proper relationship. But since there's so much material that needs to be used, we don't know if season 2 will finally give them a chance. We sure are rooting for them. Are you guys? Let us know before we get to the most interesting part of our video.
Little nerd.
I'm not.
Let's see. You're good at video games. Literally all school subjects, but especially
A trip to Paris. Fans of Heartstopper graphic novels know that the second installment could feature a trip to Paris. Since this trip is followed by some really important storylines, the gang might film part of the new season in the City of Love. We really don't want to spoil this for you, but it's safe to say that this trip to Paris is important for 3 couples. So fans are convinced we'll see some beautiful scenery in the second season. On a related note, what are your hopes for season 2 and 3? Let us know down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed our video, make sure you subscribe to our channel so you'll never miss any of our videos like this in the future.